When we graph polynomials, the first thing we want to do is factor the equation. So here I have 4 terms, so I'm going to group the first 2 and I'm going to group the last 2. I'm going to break apart my x to the third, subtract 3x squared so I can see what they have in common. So I have a 1 with 3 x's and I have a negative 3 with 2 x's. Both terms share 2 x's, so I have an x squared in common, leaving me with an x subtract 3. I'm going to duplicate that x subtract 3 to start off simplifying my negative x plus 3. And to figure out what they have in common, I'm going to take my positive 3 and divide it by my negative 3. So negative x plus 3 has a negative 1 in common, because 3 divided by negative 3 is a negative 1. So I get x squared subtract 1 and x minus 3. X squared subtract 1 breaks apart into x plus 1 and x minus 1, and I still have my x subtract 3 left over. I'm going to set the 3 factors equal to 0, and I'm going to solve each one. I get a negative 1, a positive 1, and a positive 3. So I'm going to create a table using these 3 numbers, and I'm going to go from the smallest, which is negative 1, to the largest, which is positive 3. So my x will start with negative 1, then 0, then 1, then 2, and then 3. I can already fill in the y coordinates for negative 1, 1, and 3, because they are going to have zeros for their y's. Now I'm going to graph the equation in our calculator to figure out the y's for 0 and for 2. Now that I have my equation graphed in my calculator and I'm at my table, I can see that at 0 the y coordinate is 3, and at 2 the y coordinate is negative 3. So now I'm going to plot these points on my coordinate grid. Now that I have my points plotted, I'm going to sketch in a curve to match the graph that I see on my calculator. So the left side of my graph is going to go down, and the right side of my graph is going to go up.